filling and stuffing. I love my grandma's mashed potatoes. Yeah!
Better late than ever.
We are coming to you 2 days late.
Well, tough shit.
Send us to detention, Mr.
No
Damos.
kidding. No kidding.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too, friend.
I'm going to go ahead and say it now. I am almost 40 days alcohol-free.
Hey, congrats.
Have you noticed no less burping on the podcast? Wasn't I known to do that?
No, I'm not going to rehash the past.
Okay, but
water under the bridge, friend.
I drinking a Eastside Dark NA from our lovely friends at Lakefront Brewery.
All right.
I'm
drinking one of Nick's Blatzes that he's not drinking anymore.
Yep. Hey,
Thanks for letting me mooch your beer.
Hey, man, that refrigerator is all yours, just like my heart.
Aww.
So Andy and I are a little late to the game on this one, but it's with all due, with intents and purposes.
Yeah.
This one,
I thought it was intensive purposes.
Intensive
purposes.
With all due respect to our students,
Irregardless.
Irregardless.
Go ahead.
Oh boy, man, that word or synergy. We wanted our synergy to connect. When I hear people say synergy, I just get so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
It is not a fucking word.
Nails
and when
on a
you
chalkboard.
know, when someone does say the word synergy, you just go, they're a squeeb. You're like, that motherfucker is the biggest squeeb.
It's just energy in sync.
I don't know.
Anyway. Sorry.
Well, I mean, okay, it's like the definition of woke. I mean, you can't okay, you know it's a word, but
or
it
woman.
Well,
mean.
Hey.
Yeah, what were you saying?
I swear
We're 2
I'm not
days
drinking.
late.
We're 2 days late,
And
but
$1 short, and you're 40 days alcohol free.
We are getting our holiday mixture. This is the kickoff of our holiday. Last week was you remember
No. 127. The one about the Bloody Moon.
Bloody Moon.
Italian
Hey,
one. Yeah.
It was the Spanish
It was
movie.
the one with the Spanish
the
movie.
one with the Luigi. Hey, but this
English Youth School of Languages and such.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you can only be white, a woman, and between the ages of 20 and
really
28.
good looking. Yeah,
yes. This one though, we actually went to. This is new. This is the newest movie we've done.
It's the first. Yeah.
On SlashU, episode 648.
Right. This is episode 128.
I was close.
You were.
I'm kind of excited because this kicks off SlashU's holiday season.
Yeah,
So
for
the rest of the month, until we take our break in January, we are doing nothing but Yuletide celebrations. But this one actually celebrates a different holiday from 2023, an Eli Roth joint, 1 hour, 46 minutes.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
In theaters now.
Yes.
As we record this.
Please hit pause on this if you haven't seen it. Spoilers.
We're spoil the whole thing.
So hit pause, come back with us. This is holiday fun, Andy, at its finest.
It's not bad. I really enjoyed it.
It's no Thanksgiving.
True. Nothing's Thanksgiving except for Thanksgiving. But and it's definitely not the other one with the cranberry sauce. Savage.
Blood Rage.
Blood Rage. Right. Thank you. That's not cranberry sauce.
Yeah, that was. You remember that the mom would like sit in front of the refrigerator and like masturbate?
She was weird.
Yeah, it was a
was
great
crazy.
movie though.
I enjoyed that one too because it was twins and the one twin trying to get the other one in trouble.
Yeah,
that was like our first season of SlashU. We did.
It was
Thanksgiving.
because we try to always do something. We did Thanksgiving.
Try to follow the time of year that we're in.
Thanksgiving was rad.
I liked it. Yeah.
The one where the daughter thinks it's her dad. And it's
Yeah,
just a turkey with
and
this.
the turkey. There was like a Reels on Instagram recently that had all the highlights of that turkey, his one-liners, his zingers in that movie.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah.
Like very much like Microwave Massacre. Was that the name of it? Like where it was just one? Wasn't that the same one? Was
just one zinger after another.
Yeah, that was. This
Looks
is
like
good.
we got something you don't got, turkey. What's that, Darren? A vagina? Remember that? Is that kid's name Darren or Devin?
I think it was Devin. Darren.
A vagina? Nice tits.
Yeah, and then there was so many other good ones too, like where they're like, they're heading off for, I guess, their Thanksgiving, and they look at each other, and he's like, I bet your mom's good. Really, I give thanks for your mom's poon. That's very sweet to say to your friend. I want to give thanks to your mother's vagina.
Yeah, right.
Hey, but anyway,
Thanksgiving. This one. Yes.
This Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Like, here's two things. I'm gonna go ahead and start my cinephilia.
Go nuts.
My cinephilia.
Cinephilia.
My cinephalic. My cinephalic penis.
Observation.
I'm gonna whip out my cinephalic thoughts and prayers.
phallus.
And I didn't like the title of the film. I understand what they're doing. It's Thanksgiving. It's set in Plymouth, Mass. But I just thought they could have done a little better.
Right.
Because are they doing it? Here's what I start thinking. Did it try? Was it something for analytics? Was it something for Google searching?
Oh, SEO.
There you
For
go.
search engine optimization.
Because it wouldn't. There's no way it would work. There's
No.
no way it would work. I mean, it did break records. I mean, I know it's probably. I think it has been known to be one of the biggest slashers opening. And I know I said Eli Roth was behind Saw, but I think it was Hostel 1, and Hostel 2.
He was behind Hostel.
I don't understand why this guy's considered the godfather of fucking slasher or blood.
No, I don't.
It's
Really?
yeah, he
People
does.
can-
When they
no.
talk, when they want to do something on Hollywood, when Hollywood wants to do something on horror or fucking slasher, they're like, let's call Eli.
Well, Eli Roth, he's known for gore, first and foremost, being really gory, and he's also known for killing a lot of his main characters and like a lot of a cynical like view overall of the movie. Like everything's like they usually end with like dismal, you know, it's not a happy ending for anybody typically, because this movie got knocked for that. Spoilers again.
Go ahead.
A lot of the main
spoilers.
characters survive. A lot, not all of them, but most of like your main core characters live by the end of this movie, and that's abnormal, I guess, for him. I read one article that just said like he got some criticism for that. You know,
For letting people
for
live.
letting the main characters live.
I don't criticize that.
No?
There is some things. I think the storyline was very much, hello, Sydney. You know, like I really did. As
Yeah.
far as like, you know, where you get to use a mask that is very common and people
Yeah.
wear them. So it's like, which one is the killer kind of thing. But
Sure.
hey, you know, Andy, what this movie is like, if you love watching the movie Scream while masturbating to old issues of Fangoria during the holidays.
Ooh.
Let's say that again because it really, I think it, you know. So like,
Apropos.
if someone said, "Hey Nick, what's Thanksgiving like?" I guess it's like if you love watching the movie Scream while masturbating to old issues of Fangoria during the holidays.
I agree.
So this is what this movie is
110%.
like.
Yeah.
This has got a star-studded cast, I think. You know,
yeah.
an okay plot with rad gore.
Yep.
This movie could have been set for any holiday, I think, though, too, Andy. Easter Bunny.
Yeah. Yep.
Just put on a bunny outfit.
Yep.
Arbor Day, you dress up as a tree.
Sure. Easier to hide. Kill it. Just stand still till your victims walk past.
We are gonna do
You
a short.
fucking kill them.
Because that is
Columbus Day. I mean, or Indigenous Peoples Day now.
Indigenous Peoples Day,
But
yeah.
You could dress up as Christopher Columbus and go on.
because then he would be because he is a fucking.
Yeah, because he was a bastard.
He's a horrible person. I got one for you.
Oh man. What?
For a holiday?
Yeah.
Oh, I forget. Labor Day. Well, no, that's stupid.
Yeah. Who would be the mascot for labor? Just some like a union worker.
4th of July, Uncle Sam.
Yeah, there you go. Labor
Become-
Day. Employee rights. Dead.
President's Day.
Limited working hours. Dead. Yeah, President's Day. Just
be
George
good.
Washington.
So there's a lot to talk about in this movie. Again, we are
Quite a
going to
bit.
spoil the fuck out of it. We are Nick and Andy, your professors here at the campus of SlashU.
Yeah.
Find us on Instagram, /U_podcast. You can also find us on the World Wide Web at slashupodcast.com. And if you want to fucking email us, we want to hear from you. You got any ideas, questions, concerns? Of course, you can let us know on Instagram. But if you want to get kind of more old school, hit us up on the email, slashupodcast@gmail.com. Com. And now, it's
in.
time for Andy's holiday with the side of grandma's mashed potatoes. Cliff Kill notes. Brought to you by Turkey Basters. If you want your turkey to be really juicy, or if you're into some kinky spray fun, grab a Turkey Baster. And now, it's time for Andy. Give me some extra gravy.
Right here.
Demos. Notes.
Thank you. The Cliff Kill Notes, brief summary of the movie, so you can follow along. My guess is there are probably quite a few of you listening who didn't go to the theaters and watch it, but go ahead, check it out. Probably be on streaming soon, you know, just like all the movie releases these days. Anyway, our story takes place in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where the local superstore Right Mart is going to open up on Thanksgiving night to take advantage of all the shoppers who want big Black Friday deals. See, here in America, the Friday after Thanksgiving is very popular for shopping.
For our 3 listeners over the pond.
These shoppers are ravenous for the biggest, best retail deals. and things take a dark turn in the mad rush for retail satisfaction, resulting in a horrible tragedy. And 1 year later, Thanksgiving's approaching again. Someone in the community has been holding a grudge against Thomas Wright, the owner of Wright Mart, and his family, specifically his daughter Jessica and her friends. This killer will stop at nothing to get revenge for the Black Friday tragedy a year ago, dressed as John Carver, the first governor of Plymouth Colony when the Pilgrims came to America. This killer promises no leftovers. It's definitely not cranberry sauce. A little bit longer than I like to do.
Yeah, that was it. I was noticing that, but I still think it kind of...
It's a 1 hour, 46-minute movie.
Yeah, and also, like, if you really wanted to, you could turn it off now.
There you go.
Get the Cliff Kill notes and turn it off, and then come back and listen after you see the movie.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah,
that was well done, Andy.
Pause this and don't do anything else until you've seen the movie.
Out of the 342 SlashU episodes that we have done, this one's going to be a little bit more hinky in the sense that Andy and I went back and forth. We only got one watch out of this.
Right.
Andy and I are notoriously known as your dedicated professors that we will always watch twice.
I've absolutely watched every single other movie 2 times.
So have I.
100%.
Whether you fast forward the second one through.
That's my promise to you.
And our promise, not only that, our promise to each other, our promise to our students.
I've definitely half-assed the second watch of a lot of our movies.
But it is. I watched just to get a clean look the first time, second time, that's when I get my notes. But
100%.
That said, it was great watching Andy and I in this movie. It was the typical trope. People were talking in the back, like
fuckers.
The scary, like, girl, don't go in there. And I mean, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
But, like, Andy and I are
Boy,
serious.
They're stupid. Why'd they do that?
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
It's like
it's a fucking horror movie.
That's what they're supposed to do, you fucking idiots.
Everybody's an idiot in these movies.
But they didn't know they were sitting in front of 2 fucking well-respected cinephiles of the horror slasher genre.
100%.
We were sitting there in the dark trying to write notes. I think I will post. I think I am going to take pictures to post on our social media because
I'm not using these today.
I'm not using mine.
They're typed up.
What I'm getting at, students, before we dive in, is that this is a freestyle. So we do remember the kills, which are important, obviously.
Yep.
This is a movie that if it didn't have these kills, it would have been horrible. I just want to say that.
I agree.
So just kind of diving into
this movie, based on, you read this, you knew this, based on a mock trailer that was within 2007 Grindhouse.
Yep.
It's the third mock trailer to be made into a full-length feature. Others were Machete. Remember Danny Trejo? And Hobo with a Shotgun.
Hobo with the Shotgun.
Those are 2 other, fake trailers.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But this one probably is the biggest. This one I think broke slasher records,
Right. So it's if you go back and watch Grindhouse from back then.
It's a tease trailer. And they also tease the killer, which I'm going to go ahead to. I love this opening scene because you get a POV killer style of an approach. 2022 Thanksgiving. So this is last year, Thanksgiving.
Right.
Welcome to Plymouth, Massachusetts, where we meet a blended family. That killer style. That killer POV, like where you're walking up and like it's like John Carpenter's Halloween, where you're walking up, but this time you get to know the killer right away. You know who the killer is right away just through that POV.
Oh,
because obviously,
sure.
Well, I'm not going to give away this
first
early,
shot of the movie.
First shot of the movie is the POV of the killer, which is, and then it turns out that who they show is actually the person that is the killer. It's a blended family, Andy.
Yeah. It's this is
the patriarch.
We have like 2 different Thanksgiving dinners going on here, right? Because we're jumping between both of them. There's Mitch Collins and his wife Amanda, and Sheriff Newton is showing up at their Thanksgiving dinner. But we also have Thomas Wright and his family, his new wife Kathleen and his daughter Jessica, and of course her boyfriend Bobby. The core cast of characters centers around Jessica, the daughter of Thomas Wright, the owner of Wright Mart, her friends Evan, Gabby, Scuba, and Yulia. But we're at Thomas Wright and his family, and then Mitch Collins and his family, these 2 dinners. Mitch works at the Wright Mart.
He's like the store manager.
Yeah, and he's just finding out he's going to have to go in and work because Thomas has decided to open on Thanksgiving night to get those shoppers in for early Black Friday deals.
People are kind of giving Thomas shit. And he's like, well, this is what people want.
Right. People want to go shop.
I want to give them what they want.
Yeah.
Obviously, of course, it's just fucking money.
Mitch and Amanda are kind of like, it's bullshit. Well, Amanda especially is like, it's
his
bullshit,
wife,
honey.
Gina Gershon, plays his wife.
Yes, you got to go to work. That's such bullshit.
And so Mitch is like, well, baby, I got to go. And Mitch's buddy, Sheriff Newland, who is played by McDreamy. McDreamy. I actually found out that people were kind of pissed off at his accent. He was born and raised in the fucking Maine, like in that area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he was like, the reason why he took less money on this, because he was like, I want to use my normal accent.
Oh, so it was his regular speaking voice. Yeah,
I don't know about
folks, including your lovely wife, said it was so fake.
But, everybody remembers him from his glory days in Grey's Anatomy where he was...
Mr. Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah, but McDreamy, he's been in some horror. He was in Scream 3. I think he was I forget the other one, but he's, made him... I think he likes his genre.
He's
but anyway,
at the Collins household because he's a friend of the family.
Yeah, he's a friend of Mitch, and so he's like there, but he's like, well, I'm going to get you there because we're going to have to be... He tells Mitch and his wife, Gina Gershon, Amanda, well, I'm going to be there too. I got to kind of do circles because there's a big crowd there already.
Yeah, fuck.
And all hell is breaking loose at Right Mart. I mean, it's like, it is, the idea of commercialism, materialistic, possessions.
I don't think a lot of Black Fridays are this way anymore. At least it doesn't make the news much. But it used to be that there would be mobs of people lined up outside the store ready to stampede and take everything off the shelves. But with the advent of just ordering it online, I don't think this happens very much anymore.
I was going skateboarding on Saturday down at the border between Milwaukee and between Wisconsin and Illinois, and we have outlet malls there. It was insane.
Really?
Insane. So it is kind of a big deal. I think this is obviously 2022. Jessica, the daughter of Mr. Wright, has a dreamy jock boyfriend named Bobby.
Bobby.
He's the star pitcher for the high school team. But there's also a nerdy squeeb named Ryan, who is kind of into Jessica. And Bobby knows this, and he's kind of like, well, I have nothing to worry about because I'm fucking Bobby.
I'm Bobby. Bobby's got a great pitching arm.
Yep.
Professional prospects because of his arm. He's on track to probably hit the minor leagues, if not be called up to the majors.
Great call, Andy.
So, Evan, their friend, is a football player in high school. He apparently was in a fight with the guy from Hanover, a rival high school.
Yeah, definitely.
And gave that guy a black eye. That's Lonnie. Because Lonnie's in the crowd at the store.
Because let's go ahead and fast forward to that because we're getting into the action at Right Mart.
Yeah.
I think it was Evan who's like, or Bobby was like, I need a new phone. And Jessica's like,
Evan.
well, I can get us in early.
Right.
And so they entered through the back door.
Yeah,
and
they were all gonna go to a movie, right?
Yeah,
but they sidetracked to the
They
Right
sidetracked
Mart.
to get Evan a new phone, and they're in Right Mart before all these throngs of people, Andy.
Yeah.
So that guy from what was the
Hanover.
name? Hanover's like, yo, what the fuck over here?
Why are they in the store
We're not
first?
getting in here. So they're kind of taunting them.
Yeah,
so
from
Evan,
inside the store.
Bobby. All of the rest of Jessica's friends, her daddy owns the building and the business.
Right.
So they're kind of fucking with him and looking at him through the window, going, "Ha, fuck you!"
Right.
And this doesn't play well, Andy. It doesn't play well.
Lonnie, the jackass from the rival high school, is in the crowd. He managed to grab the megaphone that one of the security guards had, and just turns to the crowd and goes, "Store's open, folks!" And there's a fucking stampede into the front of the store.
And this is where like fucking things go crazy. The crowd just stampedes the store, and it does result in a few people dying.
It sucked.
The first one we get to introduce of the deaths is Doug. He's the security guard.
Yeah.
He's the one that opens the doors, Andy. And as he opens the doors, he is crushed by the mob. Glass shatters his face, pierces his face. And
people are stepping on him.
And so my guess is that he dies through probably blunt force trauma and glass in the face.
Yeah, getting crushed.
Gruesome in the sense that I just imagine that it's like, oh my God.
It would be a terrible way to go.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the other customers, I guess, was just shoved aside as he came through the broken glass.
In the door jam.
In the door, and a shard of the glass cut his neck. And that fucking guy fell down and bled out. That was gruesome, too.
That was even more gruesome to me because the first kill I was like, is that Doug kill going to be it? But then that happened. Oh, boy, was I in for a fucking ride.
Yeah.
This is definitely... The kills in this, Eli Roth and his team were very creative.
Poor Amanda.
Amanda's there with her husband. She's like, she was there just to bring him food.
Bring him some dinner, right.
She's so sweet.
Because he had to cut his dinner short
to
go to work.
And then the crowd gets her, and it's a gory, it's a drawn-out death for Amanda.
Yeah.
Miss Gina Gershon. It's like, first she's
knocked on the floor.
Knocked over by a trolley. I'm just kidding. So that's what they call
shopping cart.
She's knocked over by a shopping cart, so her hair gets stuck in the wheel.
The shopping cart hits her in the head.
Yeah, so she falls and her hair gets stuck in the wheel and she's partially scalped.
Yeah, as the shopping cart gets pulled away, it yanks off a portion of her scalp. I think she was dead or dying when it hit her in the head. You know, she got knocked on the ground and this cart
I know
fucking
she
nailed her
wasn't.
in the head.
She was alive when that thing was scalping her.
You think the scalping killed her?
No, I think when she got fucking, when the two carts of customers collided,
Hit her in the head.
Yeah, hit her in the neck. It broke her neck.
Yeah.
It was a neck break that killed her.
Well,
She was
Mitch, her husband, obviously distraught. Sheriff Collins is there, trying to keep the peace. He was obviously distraught.
You mean
Everyone.
what's Dreamy or
Sheriff Collins. Did I say Sheriff Collins?
Yeah.
Sheriff
Newland?
Newland. Sorry.
Yeah, Dreamy.
Mitch is Collins. Mitch Collins is the husband. That's when Amanda got killed. That's when the sheriff pulled out his gun and just shot up in the air to stop the chaos.
And it did stop it. And one thing we have to mention too is that while this is happening, Ethan, you know, the jock friend of Jessica, is filming all of this. Evan, thank you. Evan. God, I hope people are still with us.
He was filming it on his phone.
Evan was filming it all while it's happening and
Yeah.
like freaking out, going, "Oh, dude, this is great. Gonna be fucking rad for social media, baby." I mean, that's
None of these people cared. Like they're all rushing for the merchandise. They don't even care that they just hit a woman on the ground on the floor with their shopping cart.
I mean, I know we do kill count, but just right off the bat, 3 dead.
Crazy.
And so Bobby, you know, the star, Jessica's boyfriend,
Oh,
the
yeah.
star, he actually breaks his arm trying to rescue someone.
Yeah.
And subsequently, after he breaks his arm, he just disappears.
He ghosts Jessica.
Goes Jessica, and it's just
The sheriff fired his gun in the
Yeah.
air. That's the end of that scene.
yeah, it's
1 year later now.
yeah, it's just so crazy, that mass pandemonium, like of a civilized community, a nod to commercialism and materialistic vibrance that really just showcases what we try to facilitate through a corporate America-drawn society.
You fucking cinephile. You're such a goddamn cinephile.
Yeah, but
You love the smell of your own farts, don't you? Jesus.
I'm a foodie.
How can you... you sound so clear on the mic with your head up your own ass. My God.
No, as a joke, but as Andy said,
You're
it's,
not wrong about most of that, for sure.
it's 1 year later.
Yeah.
It's 2023, as
Right.
Andy was just mentioning. And guess what, Andy?
Yeah.
Daddy's going to do it again.
So...
Daddy's going to do it
Right,
again.
because of this tragedy, Thomas Wright and his wife Kathleen, they tried to make up for it. Charity work throughout the community, contributions, scholarships, blah blah blah. We get some shots of them like opening a new place with a giant scissors, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, you just been giving back to the community. Like,
Yeah,
we're
giving
gonna
back.
Open, yes.
You're right. Bobby, we learned that Bobby ghosted Jessica because he broke his arm. His pitching days are over, and now she dates Nerdy Ryan, who was trying to get in. So all that's happening. That's a year later. I think that
Mitch is not happy about this. We mentioned that, right?
Mitch Collins, he quit the store. His wife Amanda got killed.
I know, but I mean, it's like
and he's protested the whole year, like fuck Right Mart, down with Right Mart, don't go there, terrible store, blah blah blah.
I hate to say this, but wouldn't there be a huge cash settlement? I mean, I know you have to have the security footage, which we'll get to, but I mean, there's enough. I mean,
Enough
the
witnesses.
autopsy would show, say like, and I think Thomas would be like, Mitch,
I'll pay you off. Yeah.
but he might, if you don't protest, and he might have been like, fuck you.
Fuck you, I'm taking you down.
I'm taking you down, but you know, he
knows?
just, I mean, but what I'm assuming is that he's turned everything down because he wants Thomas Wright, the owner of Right Mart, to fry.
Sure. So Mitch was pissed. What else has happened throughout the year? I mean, we got some news footage in the next scene of the news talking about it's video footage from the horrible events of last year's Black Friday. It went viral, and they're revisiting it on the news, and everyone's, you know, yeah, that happened.
Yeah,
it
and
sucks.
It is, because what's funny about this is we're also learning about like how people around Plymouth around this time, because Plymouth, you know, the birthplace of Plymouth Rock,
Right, where the Pilgrims landed.
where the Pilgrims landed. We start to realize that we start to see, rather not realize, we start to see a mask being worn, and it's the John Carver mask. I didn't know much about John Carver, like you mentioned in your notes. He was the governor, the first elected official of Plymouth County.
Right.
He is the
Plymouth Colony.
Plymouth Colony, thank you. Like, I guess he was the one that kind of was going to represent, you know,
Pretty
if they were
instrumental.
like,
Yeah.
So,
in like the new world.
the new,
yes, as they say.
yes.
Sebastian's barking upstairs.
No, and we remember we had to do this last time.
Did he poop? What do you think? We gotta go get him. Is Jody gonna get him?
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can get Jody on the phone.
Text her. You're gonna call her right now
Yeah,
during the podcast?
I'm just gonna call her and see if I can get her.
Oh no, there's movement. I can hear movement upstairs. She's probably taking care of it. Oh, we're gonna speakerphone. Jody, you're on the air.
Don't tell her we're on the air.
Oh,
I don't know if she'll answer.
She's probably dealing with the dog. This is great pod. Great pod. No.
Hello. Hey, Jody, can you take care of the dog? Sure. All right.
Done. And moving on. So, our friends, I don't know scene by scene here, but I know that our core group of friends.
Let's go over the friendships again because it's we have Jessica, her boyfriend Ryan, because Bobby is left. He's ghosted ever since.
Gone.
And since that, we have Scuba and his girlfriend Julia.
Yeah.
Julia.
Yeah.
Julie, but it's German for Julie. And then we also have Gabby, and Evan.
Yeah.
So those are our core group of friends from the high school,
Right.
and so they're suddenly getting tagged in a social media post of a Thanksgiving table with their name around it.
Their
and
names,
their names
place settings, right.
In place settings, it says the table is set.
Yeah, and they're getting tagged by John Carver, or the John Carver, whatever the username was. It's basically Instagram. I mean, they don't say this is Instagram,
It is Instagram.
but it's Instagram.
Yeah, because they do live stories, live streaming, which you can do on Instagram. But, during this whole year, the shenanigans that Andy had just mentioned, like what's been going on, like we mentioned, Bobby had disappeared, but he's back now.
They're all at the diner, and Jessica catches a glimpse of Bobby seemingly exiting the diner. She catches the back of his head, as well as she spots, a guy wearing a John Carver mask standing out in the parking lot, creepily staring at the building. Yeah. And we meet Lizzie, the waitress, who was one of the first shoppers into the store a year ago, trampling and shoving her way to great savings. That's what I put in my notes.
Trampling her way to great
savings. She was she was right there at the front of the line, loudmouth, yelling at everybody.
Yeah.
You immediately recognize her. Oh, this waitress was that lady.
The waitress realizes who Jessica is and the friends, and she's like, they're kind of like, can we order? And she's like, you have to wait like everyone else.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you made us
She's
wait.
Like rude. Yeah.
You made us wait for that,
Why would she hold that grudge a year?
Because in her mind, by making them wait so long and teasing them, the people that died was on her. Her dad's.
I see. Lizzie just maybe missed out on a TV deal, and now she's still mad a year later. That's kind of what I thought.
And
So.
Yeah. But she's kind of she's setting up. She's a diner. She's a waitress there. She was a shopper.
Right.
And as we mentioned before, Bobby is back. He is. He does get his time to talk with Jessica.
We do meet up. And is Jody calling you back?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Nothing. I just heard the dog barking. I was calling my beautiful wife to see if she could take care of.
If she needed help.
Yeah, if you needed help or anything.
Just see if I can take care of it, and then you're like, oh, just see if you need help.
Well, yeah, just because we're in the middle of recording right now, and
he was barking.
I'm getting ready to go.
Okay.
But we can hear our puppy in the background. Hear her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, babe. Well, I hope you have a really good time. And
hey, have your phone put. I'm going to turn the camera on. So the camera's on her right now. Just keep an eye, and I'm going to keep Sebastian downstairs.
Okay. Well, he barks.
Yeah. We'll listen
I don't
for
know
him.
what you want me to do.
Just put him in the crate.
Okay, come on, Sebastian. Let's go to your crate.
Hey, and all the students of SlashU appreciate you, and we all wish you a happy birthday.
You're the best. Happy birthday, Jody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love you. You're recording right now. We're
on the podcast.
You're on the podcast.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Love you, babe.
Love you too.
That was a nice little
yeah, that was.
Hey, so we meet Bobby. Bobby is back in town working at his uncle's towing service.
Yes, he's a tow truck driver.
Yeah.
Much to the chagrin of Ryan.
New boyfriend Ryan.
They do not like each other.
They don't like each other.
And Bobby's kind of looking at him like, "Yo, bish, like I'm Bobby. I got great hair, and I've got a pretty good arm that I'm gonna get back, so I can go hit the MLB."
Meanwhile, Ryan's like, "You fucking ran away, ghosted her, and I swooped in and played Captain Rebound."
Well, yes, I'm Captain Rebound.
As long as
Ryan.
you're doing sports metaphors, yeah. I got the rebound here, brah.
Let's do a side note real quick. The family is getting ready for this community building that they've been doing for the past year, because they are going to open again Black Friday 2023. The family is getting ready to film a Right Mark commercial that features the family, that features that kind of plays on the history of Plymouth. It's got a Thanksgiving-y set, like colonial set. It's been trashed, Andy.
Yeah, it's at I guess it's a local tourist attraction in Plymouth, probably. Like
totally.
Some representations of the original colony county houses and things.
Jessica's dad is dressed up like as a
Pilgrim
colonial guy, but as the set's been trashed, and he thinks, it's because everybody's still pissed at me over here.
Yeah.
There's an axe missing, and right away you're like, oh god.
Axe that's usually mounted on the wall.
Yeah, it's perfectly like there. You could see the outline of it, so it's gone. So
somebody spray painted something on the wall. I forgot what it said.
It's
we only
like
watched the movie once.
It's like Right Mart, like Fight Mart, or it's like it's something. It's making fun of the name, like Right Fart. I forget, but it's not. It's not really important.
Right fart for you.
And so this is where we meet the side hustle. I like this character. I'm just going to mention him right now. His name's McCarty.
Yeah.
He's the Plymouth bad boy that's kind of like, hey, I like guns and beer and Black Sabbath. He's throwing a party. He's throwing a party where you have to buy tickets. And my guess, Andy, is this party is going to be on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
You're probably right.
Where he's selling tickets to his party because
his own party
is going to be under, he's going to have booze.
Right.
All you kids can't get booze in Plymouth, so come to my house for booze.
McCarty reminds me of Matthew McConaughey's character in Dazed and Confused. With, just
that's
the thing about high school girls. I keep getting older; they stay the same age.
No, dude, that's a great fucking analogy.
Would be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
McCarty is
with a Boston accent.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I can't do it either.
It'll be a lot cooler. I just want to go back to this. It'll be a lot cooler if you did.
Hey. I thought McCarty was like a weirdo. Inviting a bunch of underage kids to his house. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird in my book.
I mean, I partied with fucking people that were older when I was in high school.
But like one older dude inviting everyone to his house just seems strange to me.
It's a small town.
I guess.
So anyway, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
And we're back with our waitress, Lizzie.
She's closing up the restaurant.
Oh, Andy, this is fun.
And she
gets,
it's dark. No one else is there.
Yeah, she's just closing up the diner.
We've got some cool shots of John Carver, the killer. The guy dressed as John Carver, kind of stalking. You see his face.
Yep.
You see his face through the window in the door for a minute, and she's, closing up whatever. He just appears out of nowhere and grabs her.
Yep.
And he shoves her face in a sink full of water.
Yep.
And then he opens the freezer door
brilliant.
and smashes her face against the freezer door. And she puts her hands up in a defensive gesture, so her hands smash against the door as well. Also doused with water. So if anybody knows anything about, your tongue on a cold surface in the winter, imagine if the whole side of your face was wet and your hands, and you're smacked against that ice cold freezer door.
Hayride too. It was kind of similar with
the pipe.
The pipe with the face.
That was hot.
That was hot.
This is cold.
But it's so smart. Go ahead, keep going.
Well, Lizzie's essentially trapped because her only choice is to literally pull away and peel her skin off of the side of her face and her fingers, or wait there to be killed. And just as our killer takes his axe and swings it at her head, she peels away from the door, and she manages to get into the manager's office and lock herself in. But it's so cool, Nick. She couldn't unlock her phone because of all the blood on her fingers, and her fingerprints aren't working, and the phone doesn't recognize her face because a bunch of the skin's missing. It's so awesome.
Smart.
She can't call for help. She thinks the killer's gone because she hears the door open and close. And she comes out, but she can't find her car keys. And this was pretty fucking awesome. She gets out to the parking lot looking for her car keys, and her car revs up. The killer's in her car, and he starts, guns it right at her. She's running away towards a dumpster. I guess her plan is to jump into the dumpster.
Yes,
and just as she jumps up and she's halfway in the dumpster, the car hits the dumpster. The lid falls shut, very heavy lid, cuts her in half.
Her top half goes into the dumpster. Her bottom half, right at the hips, falls to the ground.
And intestines and guts fall out.
Everything. So
awesome.
The next day, the cops aren't at the dumpster. The cops are at the Right Mart because her lower half of the body, the lower half of her decapitated body, her cut in half body, is placed on the top of the dot of the I in Right Mart.
Right Mart. Well, there's a star.
In
the logo.
There's a star in the right in the eye.
Her butt sitting on that point of the star.
Yes, just so
her ass and legs, the top half's gone.
And this is when the police discover that Lizzie was at the Black Friday riot, so they're starting to think that these people are being targeted. Right here, they're kind of getting this that they might be being targeted by this killer, who I don't think they know is dressed up as John Carver.
Not yet, anyway. No.
Yeah, and this is Jessica and her friends are still, after this death, Jessica and her friends are still getting taunted by the killer.
Yeah, on social media.
Yeah, they're still kind of getting tagged in these, these posts.
Yeah.
Scuba, who's kind of our tough guy, is
token. He's the token black guy.
Yeah, and he's like,
which you have in a lot of these movies. Yeah,
which is disappointing in a sense.
It is. Did you know? I don't recall any other African American characters in this movie.
No, there weren't.
No, exactly.
And that's what Jordan Peele talks about. It's actually right. Fuck you, Eli.
It's crazy. Like, you'd think we would have learned something. I get it. It's 1982, but it's fucking 2023.
I know,
Just
and
have
it's
a
like,
diverse cast already.
I know. They didn't even have like any LGBTQI plus, or they didn't have any. No, it's kind of disappointing in the sense that. That we still have to use this. And he's dating a white German girl named Julia. And his name's Scuba.
Like, if it's not vital to the plot, we don't need to point out that
you're
who's
right,
gay or not. But still, just...
But, I mean, you don't
You're
have
just
to...
following the old fucking tropes,
yes.
And it's time to evolve. Anyway.
Yeah, but it is a tag where where Scuba the token, I hate to say token, our buff football players like, well, I'm gonna DM him.
Yeah.
So he tries to start DMing, fuck him, and say, "Come get me, bitch."
Get me, motherfucker.
Of course, there's no reaction, but there's obviously trying to get some communication going on this between the killer, because the killer is obviously tagging them. Jessica runs into Bobby again, and this is when she tells him after licking his ear, she's like, "There's no security footage of this. What happened to it?" Right. And Bobby's like, "That is kind of weird." She's like, "But my dad always keeps backup security footage at the hizzy."
His home computer.
Yep.
Right. The sheriff at some point approaches Jessica for any help that she can offer with security camera footage from that night. Because it turns out Jessica's stepmom, Kathleen, deleted it all.
What did it
probably to avoid lawsuits.
Liability.
Yeah, but her dad, Thomas, of course, like we said, keeps the backup in his home. Jessica just goes home and pulls it and hands it over.
Hands it over to the town sheriff, McDreamy.
I used to have a coffee mug that said McSteamy.
But was
coffee?
But wasn't there really a guy named McSteamy?
Yeah, there might have been.
No, there was. It was
was
McDreamy. Then a new hot guy came in, and he was McSteamy.
I don't watch Grey's Anatomy, and
Yes,
the
you
fact
do.
that I
Don't
know
lie.
that it's from Grey's Anatomy makes me angry.
Then why are you wearing that Gilmore's Girl hoodie?
I don't know. And why do I have a tattoo that says I Heart Grey's Anatomy? This makes no sense. Jessica hands over the footage of the sheriff.
This is also a time too, like where this is sorry, after she hands off the footage to the sheriff, we get to meet another victim, I'm gonna say, and it's a marked security guard named Manny.
Right. Well, I think that somehow the word has spread, because after Lizzie the waitress's death, others who were there a year ago think that they're being targeted by the killer. So Manny, the security guard who was there a year ago and ran away, before the stampede hit the store, he ran off like a fucking coward. You're hired to be a security guard. Him and Doug, 2 security guards against this whole mob. Doug got killed, as we already pointed out. Manny he took off. So now, here we are a year later, Manny is freaking out and trying to leave the country. He's got his passport, and he's on the phone, I think, with his mom or somebody, come watch my cat because I'm going to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, he wants to get
leaving
that.
for the Dominican Republic. But suddenly, Manny can't find his passport. He literally just threw it on the table a second ago. Uh-oh, where is it? Well, he's got to find it. So he's searching around his apartment, and he hears a noise. Somebody's in his apartment. Uh-oh. Manny pulls up like a baseball bat, and he's like, "Show yourself! I'm gonna get you." Manny's played by comedian Tim Dillon, who's kind of a chubby Chris Farley lookalike, kind of. So he's not like an in shape buff security guard. He's kind of on the chubby side. Anyway, what ends up happening is the killer's like underneath the table, I think, and he manages to get Manny in the eye with an electric turkey carver knife. Those knives that hits him in the eye, and as he freaks out, losing his eye, our killer pulls out a wire garrote around his neck and starts choking him to death. But the killer actually turns around himself and pulls, so like Manny's like on his back, like a backpack, and he pulls hard at Manny's neck and pops his head off. And there's just blood out of fucking Manny's head. And that is my Dick Kill Shot of the Week. Dick Kill Shot of the Week.
Dick Shot Kill of the Week.
Dick Shot Kill of the Week. But,
Why is that?
Why? Because it was fucking awesome.
It was very creative.
Super creative.
Let's just go ahead and admit this, Andy. We talked about these dick kill shots for a while. There are so many. The waitress one. I mean, that probably was one of the most creative kills in my opinion. I picked another one that we'll get to. But it was tough. I didn't know. We were back and forth like 4 times going, what in the fuck are you going to pick? Because let's just go ahead and say all of these kills are honorable, but then
they're
we'll get
all
to
great. But the killer ends up here, I guess, jabbing the electric carving knife in Manny's gut as his body's there on the floor, because I remember it still buzzing in his stomach. And the Manny's cat is like meow, looking up at the.
And everyone starts getting nervous. Sorry.
Oh, all of us in the theater were like, "Is he gonna fucking kill this cat?"
Please don't.
But he doesn't. He feeds it. He feeds the cat. The cat starts eating dry food, and John Carver killer pets him and walks away.
I love that. See, that's to me like that. I fell in love right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's not going to kill
a kid. That's fine, but don't kill a fucking innocent little kitty.
Oh, Jesus.
But what's kind of going on now is that Manny is dead now.
Yeah.
And so, looks are being, kind of spread around the community.
Going
like,
on?
who's the killer? Everyone kind of starts freaking out on Ryan because Ryan they found video of him through that footage they found of Ryan hugging Doug.
Oh, Jessica's current boyfriend.
Yeah, hugging the security guard. That was the first kill.
Yeah. And Ryan claimed, I didn't know anyone else there except my boy Scott, who I was with, or whatever.
And they were like, why did you know him? And, he had to admit because he is a good student. He's like, the reason I'm a good student, because I like to get hooked up with Adderall.
I was buying Adderall from him. Yeah,
So,
that's all.
It's really kind of nothing. But again, it's just that trope of who's who.
Did the gang...
We never mentioned the fucking new sheriff that came into town to help.
The deputy?
The deputy that...
It's not worth it.
He's not. It's like there's but is it the trope of is he the killer kind of thing?
Because he's new in town?
And he's got a fucking kind of dick personality.
It wouldn't make any sense though, because he has no motive whatsoever. He's new in town.
But again, it is kind of but for people that aren't fucking, dollar store, Dollar General fucking cinephiles.
No, we are at least Target.
TJ Maxx?
Yeah, Target level cinephiles.
Quick Trip?
We're up there. Quick Trip level cinema. No, but doesn't our gang get
Little
tagged?
Caesars?
Doesn't our gang $5?
$5 cinephiles?
Doesn't our gang of kids get tagged again with another post? And this time, Manny's head and Lizzie's top half are sitting at the table, because Lizzie's top half wasn't found. She's sitting at the table at her spot. Manny's head is at his spot, and our gang gets tagged in another post
because they still have their they're also set at the table, so they're kind of getting like, holy fuck,
holy
what's gonna happen?
Shit, here's 2 dead bodies, and now our names are at these other seats.
Just a kind of a quick note too. I like to add these side notes in this. Side note: Evan being a dick, kind of the dick jock. He kind of has. There's every school has one. The little kid in their class, like the kid that looks like they should be in 6th grade, but is like probably a junior in high school.
Yeah.
Well, there's a kid here, Jacob. I think it's kind of fun to point out. Yeah. Evan said look, he bullied him into write an essay for him.
Yeah.
And so while in class, the teacher called on Evan to read this essay that this kid wrote for him, and the essay is about the
plight of some Native American
Wamapoke Indians.
Yeah.
So he reads it, and the teacher's like, "That's really, really well written." And he's like, "Thank you." And she's like, "I wrote that on my last blog post."
Yeah.
And so the kid Jacob turns around and smiles, and Evan's out for blood now. I just kind of thought this was a fun, because I love the kid's look, because he's kind of like, "Fuck you, Evan," like you've been bullying me around. So
I totally screwed you by plagiarizing a blog post.
Yeah. So.
Boom.
We're continuing. What I'm saying is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, the town, Andy, is getting ready for a big parade. It's Plymouth, Massachusetts. So it's just more. I just wrote this note. It's just more of Bobby and Ryan feuding, for Jessica's love.
Yeah. And the sheriff's also obviously going over all the footage that Jessica gave him. Realizes he needs to probably question Lonnie and Amy, who were from Hanover, the rival high school. So we go to them. Lonnie is another football player. He was Evan's rival. He's the guy who had the black guy.
Yeah,
he's the guy who said, "Store's open, everyone." And,
yeah.
His girlfriend Amy is a cheerleader.
Yep.
So we cut to him. He's managing the workout class.
Yeah, he's the captain probably of a football team. So he's like, "Come on, guys, let's do this.
Lift weights, whatever."
CrossFit.
Yeah. So they're all doing their weightlifting and shit. And then girlfriend Amy, the cheerleader, is at the door, like, "Come on over here. I
want to show you my
surprise
boobie.
for you." So
see my boobs.
So Lonnie's like, "Hey, keep lifting weights. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go talk to them.
I gotta go to the bathroom."
Yeah.
And Amy has a surprise for him. She has rigged up a trampoline in the gymnasium.
So sweet of her.
And she turns on a spotlight on the trampoline.
Yes.
She wants him to sit, and she's going to jump while she strips.
Go slower.
She's going to jump on the trampoline while she strips.
Oh, my God.
For her boyfriend, Lonnie.
Finishing.
So,
Okay, continue.
right here, live on the podcast. So Lonnie sits down to watch, and Amy starts jumping. Amy can't see him. He's in the dark. She's got a spotlight on her. And as Lonnie's sitting there, she's, takes her...
You see a little butt.
She takes her panties down.
Yes.
Do you like this? And Lonnie's like, yeah, dude. just as our killer comes up from nowhere behind him and twists his head 180 degrees around.
I mean, it was a good kill.
Snap.
Because here's why, Andy. Honorable kill. Because it was fast. It was you're like sitting there watching. I thought she was going to go first.
Yeah.
And
snap.
He snaps, so he's dead.
Oh!
But she notices him falling. She's like,
Yeah.
are you still watching me take off my clothes? And that's when the killer supernatural imposes under the trampoline.
Yeah.
Knives come up.
Yeah, he shoves the knife up under the trampoline. So now as Amy bounces, she hits the knife.
Keeps hitting it, too.
I think the first one is like her Achilles tendon or leg,
And then one's like her inner thigh.
Yep, she falls. So she's bouncing repeatedly on top of this knife. And that's those two. So 2 more.
It is so rad that when Lonnie his head is like, it's almost literally decapitated. But, what's funny, though, in this part, too, don't you think the cheerleader is dead at this point?
I thought she was dead. Anyway, the rest of our gang, Evan, Scuba, Yulia, Jessica, and Gabby, all decide they need to stick together.
Yeah,
There's
but
safety in numbers.
Evan and Gabby are like, we're going to go change. We got to get...
Because the football game's been called off.
Yeah, because
Lonnie's dead.
Lonnie's dead. So they can't play.
They can't
they're like,
play. Yeah.
So, of course, the guys, Evan, Scuba, they're like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah,
Well,
Evan's really mad.
Yeah, they're like, well, we got a party to go to. Why don't we go change? We'll wait out here for you. So Evan and Gabby go to change.
Locker room.
Rooms,
Stick together.
change. And then Jessica's like, well, where are they? So Jessica... AKA Sydney Prescott from Plymouth,
She just
goes into this. This is very screamy here. This
Yeah,
scene is
yeah.
very fucking screamy.
It's so crazy because Jessica is waiting, like right within sight of the cops who are outside the school at this point. And you're right. She gets a text from Gabby that says, "Can you come here?" But it's not Gabby sending the text.
No, yeah, she keeps kind of going. She's trying to find the phone, and she finally finds the phone in a garbage
Like a
can,
garbage
a
pail
moving
dumpster.
garbage pail. Yeah,
Yeah.
which kind of lets her know that something is amiss.
Right.
Evan and Gabby
Have been grabbed.
have been grabbed. Are they dead? Are they alive? Who knows? We'll find out later.
We'll
My
find out
guess
later.
is that they're probably going to be alive because,
Yeah.
as we've been following this movie, the deaths.
We've seen them die.
We've seen them die.
So
The only reason I bring up McCarty's party, I think it's so funny as a VIP area. When Scuba and Jessica and Evan arrive, he's like, take them to the tells Jacob, you remember that little kid?
Oh.
Take him to the VIP area. The only reason they show up to the party is because, Andy, you remember, is that Scuba wants a gun.
Well, yeah, after Evan and Gabby get abducted and the killer almost gets Jessica.
Yes, thank you.
Jessica and Scuba and Yulia are all that's left. Yulia's dad picks her up and says, "We are going to
yes.
Florida.
Yes, we are leaving.
We are leaving for Florida.
We are going to."
I think it's a Russian accent.
I thought it was more German.
In any case,
And it sounds angry when you talk. I
Yulia,
want some apple pie. This Teletubby movies is great.
Yulia's dad grabs her and says, "We are going to Florida," and they leave. And so it's Jessica and Scuba. They go to McCarty's party because Scuba wants a gun. McCarty was offering firearms protection from this killer.
Because that's what goes down when you're in Germantown.
This was my note. Like, this guy's so weird because he's got this big party going on, and all the people there are underage children.
They're not children. They're fucking in high
They're
school.
under 18, bro.
Well, still, I would put him at 20,
Okay.
21. It's a small town.
All right.
That's exactly it. It's exactly it.
He gives Scuba a gun. That's really all there is to this scene.
And this scene is rad coming up. It isn't mine, but it's definitely going to be an honorable.
Wow. Jessica and Scuba are together in Scuba's car. They call Yulia on the FaceTime while she's packing up for Florida.
Yeah, she's like, my daddy is moving me to Florida to get away.
Dad wants to take me to Florida.
He wants to get away from the killer. We're going down.
I'll call you back. And she hangs up, and we stay with Yulia while she's packing. This was pretty wild because the killer, there's obviously a police protection.
Yeah, they're loaded. They're
Yulia's
very
house.
rich family, yes.
Very rich family. The house is undergoing renovations.
Yes.
Which is important. the killer, tranquilized darts the cop.
It's very
that's guarding.
obvious. I don't know why people count them as kills. Go ahead, sorry.
Yulia's dad. They're darts. Yeah, they're not kills.
They're not kills. They are not dead.
They just get knocked out.
They want knocked out because his eyes are on the prize of the German
Yulia.
in disguise.
Ooh, I like it.
Thank you.
Sorry, I stepped on it a little.
SlashU at night. SlashU night.
This was wild, Nick, because Yulia was sitting at her makeup table. I forget what ladies call it. It's a
vestibule,
vestibule or something. Yeah, she's got her mirror. She has her she has her Q-tips, and she's cleaning her ears.
Yes,
she's got out of the shower or whatever. She cleans one ear, cleans the other ear, and as she looks up, the killer stands up behind her with those two corn on the cob holders.
Yeah,
spiky, and pokes them both in her ears. Stabs her in her ears. Deafening Yulia.
Yeah, and that's what I want to say too. Like, that's definitely not a kill. You know, some people are like, well, that's the. But I mean, fuck that. I would much rather be dead because I couldn't imagine the pain.
Oh, the pain.
Eardrums exploding.
Yep. She can't hear shit. She can't hear shit, and the sound mixing in this part was great because the movie really helped you understand what she's feeling. I'm not sure why she was crawling away, but she like stumbled away.
Maybe because it hurt like fucking hell, dude.
She's probably off balance too.
Oh my god, yes.
We fuck with your ears, you lose your balance.
Fuck yes.
She's trying to crawl away, and this killer decides, unlocks her phone and calls back poor Scuba on the video chat, FaceTime. So now Scuba and Jessica are in his car, and they are now FaceTiming, witnessing the killer as he tortures poor Yulia. And they're like, holy fuck, and they hit the gas and speed as quickly as they can to Yulia's house.
They almost get there. They stumble into the house where the Yulia's father and the security guard cop are, incapacitated because of the tranquilizer.
Right.
They hear Yulia's
screaming,
and this is where things get nuts because the house is getting renovated.
Right.
It's plastic kind of hanging up, obviously, to keep the dust out, and there's obviously a table saw because you got to cut wood, you got to renovate, you got to have a table saw.
Right. You gotta.
Before
Renovation 101.
Renovation 101. Before Scuba and Jessica can make it to save Yulia,
our killer's holding her.
Yes.
Hostage, and Scuba's pointing that gun at him, and Jessica's like, shoot him, and Yulia's like, shoot him,
shoot him.
The killer steps on the switch that turns the table saw on,
and it gets her hand first.
Yeah,
she puts her hand down to try to block it.
Defensive, and it cuts her fingers off.
Cuts her fingers off, and then as her fingers go, her whole body falls on the table saw.
Shoves her,
and it is a disembowelment like I've never seen. I've never seen a disembowelment like this. We've seen a lot of slasher movies where it shows a disembowelment, but this is straight up like a sausage factory is released to the people of Plymouth, and her body is just obliterated. There is Wiener Schnitzel all around.
John Carver, the killer, obviously escapes because Jessica and Scuba are like, holy shit.
It's a rad kill.
Yulia is dead. Another honorable dick shot mention. This was wild because Scuba's just cradling her.
Yes!
Yulia's guts are spilled out.
Good call.
And Scuba's just like, what do I do, Jess? What do I do, Jess?
She's like, there's nothing you can do.
Jessica's like, there's nothing we can do.
Maybe pickle her innards? I don't know. Is that what Germans like?
Pick them all up. Let's get them to the hospital. No, Yulia's dead.
This is when they come up with the idea the next day. The police attempt to lure Carver out by having the Wright family and Scuba participate in a Thanksgiving parade.
We got to set a trap.
Disguised as pilgrims, because now we're waking up on Thanksgiving Day, Andy. It is officially Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
They're going to make the warehouse look empty so they can catch this John Carver slasher guy.
The Wright family and Scuba are going to ride on the Wright Mart float, dressed as pilgrims. Once the float parks at the end of the parade in the warehouse, the police will be there to trap the killer. But what happens?
But like the movie Scream, there are many John Carver masks walking around. Like it's like, is that John Carver?
While they're on the float, they're looking in the crowd. You can see other people.
It's just like what they do with Scream. Like, oh, there's the. I mean, excuse me, I get so excited. I'm talking to you students and showing my love for you all. It's the trope of like, is that the killer? Is that the killer? Who's the killer? Mm-hmm. But it's a misdirect because the killer isn't who we think they are. We do have to make another side note here. During the protest, Mitch is wearing a John Carver mask. Remember
Mitch Collins?
Lost his wife.
And the tragedy was a store manager.
Yeah. He is protesting, so they do a sit-in.
Yeah.
So which is kind of ironic because they did a sit-in this year at the Macy's parade too.
They did, yeah.
So it's kind of like, a foreshadow, but obviously for different reasons, which we won't get into. But John Carpenter and a few others are stopping the parade because...
Carpenter.
John Carver. John Carver. Come on, dude. It's close.
Mitch Collins.
No,
and a few others are stopping the parade.
I was trying to say John Carver. Come on, I'm not drinking.
I'm sorry.
But I did say John. But they're John Carver is he's dressed up as John Carver. He's trying to stop the parade. It's just kind of a misdirect because there is a mysterious clown walking around. Andy, I knew right away. Like when I first saw, I was like, this is.
Why is there a clown at a Thanksgiving parade?
And not like a hi kids. I mean, this is a fucking creepy,
horrific
looking clown that could be in its own movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And so right away when I saw this clown. It's super out of place, and Andy, boy, was I right.
Well, that's what happens. We have just a quick shot of someone dressed up as the turkey.
Yeah, could you imagine? Hey, Timmy, you're going to be the
kid dressed as a turkey mascot.
mascot.
Out of nowhere, Nick, an axe comes and decapitates the turkey mascot. Thunk, his head flies off, blood.
The crowd just
could you imagine? Goes apeshit.
Holy shit, you'd be like, Mom, the turkey.
Freaking out. And then the killer starts throwing smoke bombs into the crowd to make more confusion. Chaos erupts at the parade. Panic. The driver of the Mayflower float slams on the brakes, and the float, it's modeled after a boat, breaks through the bow. The bow of the boat breaks through the back of the truck,
the cab,
hits him right in the back of the head. He's dead.
Pierces. No. Okay, let's rewind this a little bit. This pillar, this bow of the boat comes through the back of the cab, and knocks him in the head. It clearly pierces his head.
Right through his head.
Right through his head, all the way up. Blood just going everywhere. Yeah. His grandkids are in the fucking truck.
2 little girls are in the truck getting spurted with blood as Grandpa's dead. And the makeup job, because you see like his nose and like the top half of his mouth on the piece of wood. So that's another death.
It is so cool. I would also like to mention the reason why the clown killer, is doing this with the smoke bombs and the chaos is going on. It's his time to kidnap all the Wrights.
Right. The Wrights and Scuba jump into a police SUV, and the killer jumps in there too. Yep. Jumps in the driver's seat, and he he's got his little dart gun, and he knocks them all out. And he speeds away in a police SUV.
Yeah, but
no one's the wiser.
No one's the wiser, but except there's quite a few dead people. Again, I can't get over that turkey mascot. Gets decapitated. He's probably so excited, like, I get to be the fucking turkey mascot in the Plymouth parade. Yep. An historical parade in a celebrated city that, that started the colonial revolution in America. Later, kid. It was awesome. I'm so proud. But we're back at an unknown facility where the John Carver, our killer, is seductively pouring oil and lubes on the stepmom, Kathleen. Hey, he's got some KY. He's brushing her lips like with some confetti and glitter. And he's
sexual.
Masturbating over her thighs. No, but anyway, right away you know what he's doing, Andy.
Yeah, he's prepping her. Like a meal.
Yeah, and it's like he's giving, putting a little salt and pepper. This kill will make me want to shoot. Are we? Oh, wait, real quick before we hit pause. Are we being funny?
We are.
Let's take a quick break.
Sorry about that.
No,
I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's cool.
Sorry.
I'm glad you did it on my chest. It really made for a great podcast.
Not this kind of podcast.
What I like about this Kathleen kill, because we will get to it, it's drawn out because as he's kind of prepping her, and he's getting the oven preheated. Yeah. And I really like the thing, he puts his mask on the oven that's preheated, so when he picks it back up, it's got a burnt look to it.
Yeah, the mask
takes a new look where it's like more like, I'm going to kill you, kind of a look that is, I think, really brings it out more and kind of gives it that brandability of what the killer looks like.
Twisted John
Kathleen
Carver
does get away from her pan that she is being basted in, and she runs through, to try to escape.
Yeah.
Andy, she runs to a refrigerator where the cheerleader is there.
Amy.
She's alive.
We all thought she died on that trampoline.
Yeah, there's a bottle of wine in there too, I noticed. But as Kathleen's looking at this Amy that's like, please save me. The boyfriend too, kind of, who's obviously dead. Lonnie pops out too, with this twisted ass head, all necking around. It's just kind of mass chaos, but she is caught again.
Yeah.
And
John,
just
as she's escaping, he pitchforks her in the back.
Yeah.
Drags her back into the house.
I love that. He's like, you're going to get cooked.
Yeah.
Kathleen is then put into an oven alive. And as she is starting to cook, she just shrivels into a cooked mess, if you will, and that is my dick kill. Shot of the week.
Kill of the week. Dick shot. Kill of the week.
Kill of the week. And here's why, Andy, because it continues. Because not only is after she's dead and cooked, they actually present her to the table, and what I'm guessing is her thigh, which looks like chicken.
Yeah.
But they are carving her like meat of her thigh, and he places it in front of Thomas Wright, her husband's, puts it on his plate. Could you imagine if someone's like, here's your wife, take a bite? Like, it'd be like, holy shit.
Well, he throws up.
Yeah. Wouldn't you?
Tied up at the table, we have Thomas Wright, Jessica, Gabby, and Evan. They're still alive, and Scuba. And we have dead Manny and Liz. Manny, the security guard, Lizzie, the waitress. And the killer talks to them with his voice modulated. And you're right. He essentially presents Kathleen and carves her a big hunk of meat. That's when Thomas pukes.
He's live streaming this, so just
he's got it on Insta.
Yeah, it's definitely being live streamed so people can see it.
He brings Amy, the still alive cheerleader, out, and he corkscrews into her neck.
Yes,
and uses that blood into a wine glass,
a goblet, if you will. Yes.
So his plan is what? Drink this blood and eat Kathleen. Like, we get little cannibalistic elements.
Well, I think he's really trying to torture fucking Thomas Wright.
Totally.
I've got your family. I've got everything. I'm going to kill everything. Like, he's pissed.
Yeah.
So then what's kind of interesting, too, is, and this is why it's really a super honorable kill to me, is Evan's death. Mm-hmm. John Carver. Carver. I keep saying...
John Carpenter?
John Carver, because
it's close. I get it. I get it. You know, I get called Adam sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I am... I feel buzzed. This NA Eastside Dark Beer is great.
He's lecturing the family.
Yeah, but he chooses Evan. I don't remember why if he picked Evan, but it is.
Either.
Let's make it really quick. He bludgeons his head to death in front of everyone, and the sounds.
The meat tenderizer.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. This Eli props. I mean, I don't know how he did it, but the sounds brought in. Man, I felt like I was there. Like I was like, oh my god, I'm watching this kid.
Well, I read that he actually killed a kid for the movie. Like, this was essentially a snuff film. We watched a real person.
Really?
The actor signed on knowing he was going to be killed in the movie.
Oh, dude,
and
the fucking Thanksgiving was a snuff film.
One take. Fake news. No, it's so shocking because it goes out over the Instagram stream. You know, John Carver bludgeoning Evan's head on the table. And of course, everybody else, they're all tied and gagged and they're screaming.
I mean, I could imagine. But it does give Jessica, as this is happening, she's able to kind of get through her rope. She's able to get through her rope.
A ring that McCarty gave her.
Yeah.
And it's got a little hidden poker.
Right. Good call.
Little hidden poke thing on it, needle on it. And that's enables her to cut the rope.
What's awesome.
And then she tosses it to Scuba, who also gets free. And she escapes.
Yeah, she's able to run through the woods.
Yeah. And
she's able
Carver
to get to a
chases
fence.
her.
Yeah, she's making it to a fence. She gets over the fence right before. I mean, Carver is right next to her, but
narrowly escaping.
Yeah, she's able to get over the fence. She makes it to the parade warehouse where she finds Sheriff Newland, unconscious.
He's unconscious on the ground with a trunk open.
Yeah.
She follows a masked figure into the warehouse. And it's Bobby.
Bobby is wearing he's wearing the John Carver mask.
What's up with that?
Bobby's the good killer, dude.
She goes and
to spoil it.
She gets Sheriff Newland off the ground, who's got a big old streak of blood down his face, and points out, hey, it's Bobby. He ran in there. Sheriff says, you stay here. And he goes in there into the warehouse. We hear some gunshots, and the sheriff comes out and says he escaped. I didn't get him. Other cops arrive. The new deputy, the detective.
Or the survivors at the dinner table.
They tell them, Thomas, Scuba, and Gabby are all still alive and safe.
Yes.
Which is awesome. And they leave Jessica alone with the sheriff, who she notices that the sheriff has some brambles stuck to his pant legs.
Yeah, that bramble from
in the woods.
The woods, and then
she remembers him saying in the past, she told him, like, it's all in the details.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all in the details. This guy's going to slip up and we're going to catch him.
And here's the flip. It's not Bobby the killer. It's actually Sheriff Newland.
So Jessica figures out that he's John Carver, the killer. And the sheriff reveals he was actually having an affair with Amanda Collins.
She brought a fucking dinner to her husband, and meanwhile she's fucking the sheriff.
Not only that, Nick.
Yes.
She was pregnant with his baby.
She was pregnant with the baby?
Yeah. So we learned that she was gonna leave Mitch and for the sheriff, and that night she was taken away from him. Everything was stolen from him that night, and he blames Thomas Wright and his whole family for opening the store on Thanksgiving night. She says that. Wait, before you kill me, I haven't told you what I'm thankful for, Sheriff. And he's just, typical killer. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead. I'm thankful for this signal in here. And she holds up her phone, revealing she's been live streaming this the whole time. His whole confession has gone out over Instagram Live. And as he attacks, Bobby hurls, a brick, something through the window because he's got that great pitching arm.
Yes.
Hits the sheriff in the head, and Bobby and Jessica attempt to escape.
They escape by hopping in the tow truck. That's obviously Bobby's uncle's tow truck. You know, so, and they're going away. They're moving away slowly. I guess it's one of those tropes where the cars really.
Yeah.
But in this warehouse, there still is like a Macy's float of a big turkey. So
a big balloon
turkey. So that's been activated and it is blowing up.
She turns it on. Yeah.
Yeah, and she also grabs an old-fashioned musket. Starts cramming that thing in
Loading it up. Bobby and her get in the tow truck. She tries to drive off, but the sheriff grabs the hook, and he hooks the tow rope around a big support beam in the warehouse. So they're stuck. They can't escape. But she shoots the parade balloon, which is being filled up with propane, causing a huge explosion. They get away because
it's obviously not helium. Helium doesn't explode like that, but it is something that where
hydrogen does, not helium. I thought it was propane. Whatever it was flammable.
But I mean, I guess I don't
think they would fill balloons up with propane. I think she purposely did it.
Yeah, cool.
If it's helium, it makes no sense. If it was hydrogen, then it's like the Hindenburg, just boom.
Exactly.
Oh, the humanity. But anyway, big explosion. The sheriff's on fire. They get away. We assume he's dead, and
however, Jessica continues to have nightmares of a flaming.
The next morning, Bobby gets taken away in the ambulance. Jessica reunites with Gabby, Scuba, McCarty of all people, and Ryan. The police say they were unable to find Sheriff Newland's remains. They believe he was incinerated. But Jessica's like staring at the various firefighters who are coming out of the building.
Yes, and one is
She's thinking like one of them might be the sheriff in disguise, but they don't really confirm that. And you're right. It's sometime later. She's in bed with her BF Ryan, and she hears a noise from the closet.
Why did she get back together with Bobby? I thought they would have made a better couple.
You'd think they would have gotten together with Bobby. Yeah, Bobby was better for her. Ryan was kind of a manipulative, like Adderall addicted douchebag. I think
he would have Bobby. I think really cared for her, and even if he would have gone far and played for the cheaters, the Houston Astros, I think he still would have cared for her. He seems like he would have pitched for the Houston Astros.
Cheaters, Houston.
They are the fucking cheaters. They're the fucking worst. If you're listening to Houston, accept that your team is horrible.
We can both, even though you love the Cards and I love the Brewers, we can both agree.
I mean, they should have gotten at least a year suspension for what they fucking did.
Anyway, she goes in the closet and she just gets like a vision of a burning Sheriff Newland grabbing her, and she jerks awake. It was a dream.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a recurring dream where she might, that maybe he's still alive, he's burnt, and that's where we roll credits.
Roll credits.
Thanksgiving 2, perhaps? Thanksgiving 2? On a scale of 3 burnt corpses made to be turkeys to 11 burnt corpses made to be turkeys, what would you give this?
3 to 11?
3 burnt corpses made to be turkeys to 11 burnt corpses.
Like a 9 or 10.
I'd give it an 8.
I liked it.
I'd give it an 8.
Yeah.
The 8 just before the gore and kills alone, but if there was none of that, it would have gotten way lower.
Did you know there is something at the very end of the credits? There's an extra scene where Jessica says goodbye to her dad, Thomas Wright, as he's like leaving for work, and he says goodbye, and after he exits the scene, he turns back to the camera and flips it off, and you can hear someone off screen going, "Cut!"
Oh,
that was it.
All right, that's. Yeah, I didn't stick around for that. I was ready to get out. I was
like, let's just fucking look it up.
So you said 10, 11?
Yeah, 9 or 10.
Would it have been better if I said on a scale of 3 John Carvers covered in semen to 11 John Carvers covered in? Would that have been better, or I don't know.
Still a 9 or 10.
Yeah. Hey, why don't we take a break and we'll come back for a kill count.
We'll talk about what we're doing next and count those kills. And that was Thanksgiving 2023.
The John Carver covered in semen. I mean, I will say this though, the semen was delicious, but I wouldn't. If like I said before, if the gore wasn't there, this would have been not a lot of semen.
Yeah.
So, because it was very much a story that has been done and done and done.
Yeah, but McDreamy, the killer, like. That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
I'll admit, I did not guess that. But when it goes back, like you said at the beginning of the podcast, that's the first shot of the movie, is a POV of the sheriff walking up to Mitch and Amanda Collins' door, and that's him. He's the killer.
He's the killer.
So there's your clue right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate.
And he knocks on the door, and they were like, "Sheriff, yay, you're
here
here for Thanksgiving.
So
hey, great to see you."
I thought that was kind of smart, fun.
Very smart. Thinking back on it now. Very smart.
Why do I think of Eli Roth though as like a Chad or Brad? Like he'd be the dickhead that'd be like.
For those of you who don't know, Eli Roth played the Bear Jew in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh yeah, but.
So if you want to picture like what he looks like, that's what he looks
like. I don't know if you've seen. I mean, I guess you could just Google him too. But
you could. But.
I just kind of feel like if you went to like a party, he'd be like the dude that's like, yeah, brah.
You sure you're not just jealous because he's made movies and you haven't?
Dude, I mean, fuck. He started making. I'm not gonna dick his path around, but. Maybe. But I just feel like he'd give you like shitty cocaine and keep the best cocaine for
himself. Who wins in a fight, Eli Roth or Adam Green, who made Hatchet?
Adam fucking Green.
Adam Green, baby.
Kick that ass. That was a good one. I like that, Andy.
Well, you want to count these kills?
Yeah, let's count them.
Okay. So, at the start of the movie, we had Doug, the security guard, trampled on the glass, and I think the glass like stabbed him, plus he was trampled. And then some random customer who goes through the shattered glass doors. He gets a shard of glass, cuts his neck. Some random customer, followed by poor Amanda Collins, who was with child, so we count the child.
Yes.
Then Lizzie, the waitress, a year later, is the first victim of revenge. John Carver. Lizzie cut in half by a very heavy dumpster lid. Had to be. Most of those are plastic. You wouldn't be able to cut a body in half, but this one must have been extra heavy and cut her in half somehow. Then Manny, the other security guard who ran away a year ago, that's my dick shot kill of the week. And then Lonnie from Hanover, the rival high school, gets his head twisted 180 degrees around while he's watching his beautiful girlfriend Amy jump up and down on a trampoline, who gets, stabbed, incapacitated in the trampoline, only to die later at the Twisted Thanksgiving table. Followed by Yulia, a great honorable mention, getting shoved down onto a table saw and disemboweled. The turkey mascot, I didn't catch that kid's name, but he got decapitated in the middle of the parade. And then the parade float driver, Grandpa, had the bow of the boat float right through his face at the back of his head. And then Kathleen, the stepmom, cooked to death. Yes. Nick's dick shot kill of the week. What a terrible way to die. God. Just an oven slowly cooking you.
And then just knowing that, and you know that, like, as someone that's alive, your stepmom or your wife, and then you see them carved in front of you.
Dead, yeah. And Evan, bludgeoned to death brutally with a meat tenderizer right there on the live stream. We're not counting Sheriff.
Nope.
Because we didn't see him die, and they're setting it up that, we didn't find his body. So that's 12. 13 if I count the baby.
She wanted to have the baby.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You're right. It's 13.
So, because she said that, even
that's our rule.
McDreamy was like,
he had the ultrasound picture. Yeah. So. And that was Thanksgiving, yeah.
That was Thanksgiving. Well, as I said, SlashU, your professors are putting on our Santa caps, and we are going to head to the North Pole, where we will live stream our podcast. Actually, we're not going to live stream it.
From the North Pole.
From the North Pole.
Oh, God.
I'm your little elf,
Yay.
And I like wearing diapers while you watch me jingle jangle.
For some reason.
Bells. Hey, anyway, no, but we're going to keep the party going. The rest of this year.
The remaining of the year.
We're just doing some holiday fun.
Are there any Hanukkah-based slasher movies, you think?
Yes.
Just to be inclusive?
Yes.
You want any Hanukkah and Kwanzaa?
Yes.
While we're at it? I'm sure we can find some. We don't all have to do Christmas.
The Dreidel Massacre.
And we're going to have to do Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 4
No!
or whatever, aren't we?
Fuck, is that true? We have to? We've already done 3?
We've done 3, 2, and 1.
Can't stop. Oh, my
we
God.
We have to hit the next one.
All right. Well, anyway, the next one we're doing, we'll talk about.
Time.
Next time, we're really excited. We're going to drop this Monday. It's a really fun one. I've already been lucky enough to have seen it. Andy's going to jump into it from 2022, 1 hour 31 minutes.
Adult Swim Yule Log.
I'm so excited about this. Why don't you let them know what it's about, Andy?
I will as soon as the page loads.
I can do it.
Yeah,
What starts
it's not working for me.
What starts as a simple Yule log feed devolves into a surrealist nightmare as a couple and a group of podcasters spend the night in a double-booked cabin that is secretly occupied by evil and murderous forces.
Oh man, available on Max, streaming on former HBO Max or just Max. Directed by What's-Its. We'll go over that next week.
Casper Kelly, who did The Cooks. I forgot the...
Too Many Cooks.
Too Many Cooks. Yeah, that 11-minute...
Cooks. Too Many Cooks. Go to YouTube, search Too Many Cooks.
Yeah, which I'm sure most of you have.
Prepare to be entertained.
I just have a new article out. It's been a while, but I got back in the Macabre Daily mix.
Oh, nice!
So I got to interview Freddy from
Five Nights at Freddy.
I got to interview him.
Holy shit!
So
the
please,
animatronic bear himself.
So go to Macabre Daily on Instagram or macabredaily.com.
I love it.
And go check out some of this great exclusive interview. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited about next week.
Nick Fingered Freddy.
Nick Fingered Freddy. It's like I fingered Freddy. My Q&A with the current
Freddy got fingered.
mega mascot. Like he is the murderous mascot that is on everyone's mind.
Never played the video game, but I hear it's great. I hear it's scary.
Really?
There is it's based on a video game. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's.
It is?
Yeah, it's based on a video game. Yeah.
I always thought that because they had they've done so many. This is like they did the Bananigans or something. That was the first one.
What?
This has been a threesome, like and the Wiggle.
Really?
Yes, it was
the Wiggles. What?
No, the Nick Cage movie.
Oh, the Nick Cage movie. Right,
yeah,
right,
where
right.
he
right.
doesn't even say a word on it.
Right. No, this is based on the video game.
Oh, that's
Five Nights at
interesting.
Freddy's, which apparently is a good game. I've never played it. As a gamer, I just didn't
Well, you
really
should,
get into that
and then
one.
we could do a podcast.
Yeah, I'll check it out. So.
Hey, well, I'm excited for what's coming up this season or the rest of the season. 'Tis the season, and so I'm good, man. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say, Andy.
Sorry we were late, but we better late than never. We got it out.
So
I'm gonna put this out ASAP, so it probably is out by Wednesday morning, or if not Tuesday night.
Okay, and again, sorry for our 12 listeners. Glad you enjoyed it, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah. Until then, everybody, class dismissed.